yeah, we're going to be looking at pull-ups today, and actually how we increase, how we do more pull-ups. So I think we all want to be able to try and do one, but there's a lot of us that always want to try and do a little bit more. We want to be able to do a set of 5 or a set of 10, and we're going to go over and through how do we increase, how do we do more? Because we always get to that sticking point where you might do 2 or 3, you're like, I can't do any more. It just doesn't work. So we're going to look at through today how we improve. So we're going to get warming up, get more of this coffee down, some of that maple syrup, and then we'll start the back workout, and we'll go through all that today as well. So one thing I do before I do any pull-ups, I like to warm myself up, so I'm not super cold going straight into it. So I always grab a band, or these type of bands, or anything, just to basically pull using it. So you can do things like a single arm, or you can get both hands, and just get quite a lot of reps. I always like to feel really, get a little bit of a sweat on, just before I do any pull-ups. Nothing that's going to completely knacker me out and I physically can't pull myself up. But just use light things and just get the blood really, really pumping. I also like getting a little bit of rotation work. So I'll grab a band like this, and I'll just get all the way around, get a good spin on, get that waist really working as well. And then as you get a band, throw it over a bar like this, or throw it over something, grab both handles, and just, again, just mimic a little bit of like a pull-up, or any type of row. Just warming up. Also warming up your hands, like warming up your grip, because that can be quite nasty sometimes and really put you off doing pull-ups. Your hands, you just want to get a little bit of blood flow everywhere. Let's get a couple of sets of that, warming everything up, so I'm ready to do some pull-ups. And if you can, get yourself some chalk. Like I've got some just typical powder chalk here, but we've got some liquid chalk as well. Put some of that in your hands, because it really, really helps. And all we're doing is just trying to find little percentages, like 1% here, 1% there, warming your body, getting your grip right, to be able to get a few extra pull-ups. 1, 2, 3. Nice. So really answering the question, how do we do more? It's a slow man's game. We have to do it over sets rather than in one go. So if you burn yourself out and you jump on the bar and you just do as many as you can, realistically, the next time you then try and do a pull-up, let's say after a minute, you might only get 1, or you might not be able to even do it. So we need to break it up. Because we can't just add a kilogram like we do with a bench press, we need to get more reps, more numbers. So what I like to do, this is how I've developed my pull-up game in the past, is I'll do a set of, let's say 6 to 8. So I did 8 just now. I'll wait a couple minutes, and then I'll do another 8, and then another 8, and I'll aim for, let's say, 25, 30 repetitions. And I'll write that number down, and then the goal is to basically increase by another rep. So if I did 30 reps today, next time is 31. Next time after that is 32. And I'll get to a high number, and then what I'll then do is I'll then shrink that down over sets. So how I mean by this, let's say it takes me 5 sets to get me to 30 repetitions. What I'll then do is I'll increase the reps over a long period of time. So I'll get to, let's say, 40. Don't worry about how many sets it takes. And then I'll try and shrink it down. So I'll try and get it then down to 4 sets or 3 sets. But that's going to take a long period of time. But that's how we do it. So let's say, for example, you can do 3 pull-ups. And you want to get to 10 pull-ups. So first things first, we're going to do 10 pull-ups. So you're gonna do a set of 2. And then you get a rest, and then you do another set of 2. Now remember, if 2 pull-ups are really, really hard, that's like the same as you going on a bench press and putting a weight where you can only do 2 reps. So you've got to have some good rest. Don't expect just to have 30 seconds and then jump and do another 2. Have that rest in between, then do another 2, and treat it like a big strength set, like that whole pull-up workout. Treat it like you would go for a 2 rep max on a bench press or a deadlift or a squat. Treat it like that. And then when the numbers get higher and higher, then you can have more fun. Then you can do way more repetitions, way more sets, have shorter rest. But right now, we're not worrying about that. All we're trying to do is just increase the numbers. So we're gonna do multiple sets. Just do lots and lots of sets of 2 until we get to your 10 reps. Next time, we'll do that. But what you can then do is actually just decrease your rest a little bit. So let's say you're doing 5 sets of 2 to get your 10 reps. Today, you have 2-minute rest in between. Next week, have 1 minute 50. Week after that, 1 minute 40. That's a really nice way of improving. You can then, after a while, try and see if you can get the first 3 sets as sets of 3 rather than sets of 2. So you're just increasing a little bit by little bit. And over a period of time, all of that is going to develop in the right way. Okay, sugar and caffeine is in my system. I'm feeling pumped. I'm going to get another set quickly. 1, 2, 3. Nice. Whew. So I'm going to go for 5 sets of 8, and I'm going to have a decent rest. I'm going to be having around 90 seconds between, just so I can recover a little bit, get my sets. So I've done 2 sets of 8. We'll get to 5 sets, so it'll be 40 reps in total today. Whew. Quickly going back to when I said it's tricky to add another kilo or 2 to your pull-ups. You can do that by adding, let's say, a dipping belt, or let's say a weighted vest. You can add weight to it. Now, I would use that method down the line. If you're struggling to do sort of 2 or 3 pull-ups right now, I wouldn't worry too much about increasing the weight. I would focus on trying to decrease your body weight. Right, set 3, let's get another 8 reps. Lovely. And this is what I mean by it's a light man's game. Now, let's go into depth in a little bit of that. Currently, right now, I'm weighing about 102 kilos. So if I was to keep my muscle mass, not worry about strength increase, but I reduced my body fat, got myself a little bit leaner by, let's say, 5 kilos, my pull-ups, 1, would be easier, and 2, I'd probably get a couple more out. And that's purely by just dropping my body fat. I haven't increased my strength, but what that does do by bringing my body fat down is be able to increase more repetitions. What do more repetitions create? More muscle stimulus, potentially creating more muscle mass in the area. So it's a win-win situation. And that's what I mean by light man's game. You can still be extremely heavy and extremely strong and do lots of pull-ups. But if you want to do more without necessarily having to do too much work, you can just reduce your body fat down a little bit. Does that make sense? Right, another set of 8. So this is number 4. Here we go. 1, Hey. Whew. One more round. Whew. Okay, last set. Here we go. 8 reps. 1, 2, 3, 4, 5, 6, 7, 8. Nice. Woohoo! 40 reps. Wonderful. So because with this method I was trying to increase more reps over time, that wasn't too crazy on my back. So what I could do quite easily is in about 3-4 days, I could probably do that again. And if you're really looking at the numbers, you could go, right, let's say you do 2 sets, 2 pull-up workouts in a week. And let's say we go back, you did your 5 sets of 2 on Tuesday. So you've got 10 reps. And on Friday or Saturday, yeah, about Friday, you do it again. So actually in that week, you did 20 pull-ups. So what you can then do is look at your second week and see overall if you can increase it by 1, get 21. And keep going, keep going, keep going. And it is a slow process. It's enjoying the sets for now over lots and lots of repetitions. So I hope that was really helpful. I'm gonna crack on with a few more exercises just to finish off hitting my back. Thought I would just create a little how-to video today because I used to really struggle with pull-ups when I was younger. And I still go through periods. Sometimes I can struggle and sometimes I can do really well. But I just thought some of these little tips were all little things that really helped me develop. And so I just thought I would share them and hope you can incorporate some of them as well. Right, I'm gonna crack on and I'll see you tomorrow, Friday, and we'll hit a bit of shoulders and arms. Ooh, that'd be a good one. Let's see you then.